as Adam Thielen joins us now. What's going on?
What's up? Good to be here.
What's up, 19? It's good, man. It was fun not only watching back the victory over the Green Bay Packers, but you guys had them on their heels, man, all game. And, it's a pretty sweet feeling. And you've played in a bunch of games against Green Bay, and you've played in a bunch of games against Rodgers. And I know you don't defend Rodgers, but you respect Aaron and what he and his offense can do. And when you get that squad on their heels at any time for the duration of a game, you kind of handled them. And it's against Aaron Rodgers. I mean, that's pretty cool, man. Good morning.
Yeah, no, definitely felt good. The feels after the game, during the game, it just felt good to be back out there and doing what we love. But most importantly, it was just fun to have everything kind of come to life. We've been putting so much work into practices and meetings and talking about it, but to actually be able to go out there and do it felt good. And it was cool to see all the things that the coaches have been talking about, all the things that us as players have been talking about come to life on Sunday. And obviously we got to go back to work and we got to continue to get better, because now a team sees what we can do and what we're capable of, and they have film on us. So we got to go and be a little bit more attentive to detail, make sure that we're locked in and focused on this week.
But they have film on you. However, correct me if I'm wrong here, until you get about 150, 180 plays in there, like 3 games or so, and I'm certainly not discrediting the Philadelphia Eagles, but I mean, you guys offensively and defensively have unpredictability and deception absolutely on your side through like 150, 180 plays. Would you agree?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's what's so great about this offense, this staff, these offensive minds that are kind of collaborating to put together these game plans is we have a lot of offense at our disposal, and we didn't use a whole lot of it in the game. But that's the great part about kind of where we're at. We've been able to put a lot of offense in a very short amount of time, which is kind of crazy. Looking back to OTAs, and you're kind of looking at this playbook like, oh boy, how am I going to learn this? But when you do, you kind of realize why there's so much stuff. Is so you can throw a lot of different things at the defense, and like you said, keep them on their heels.
Are you and I okay? We're good, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Well, I mean, 2 things. A, I'm doing a friendship check, and I'm on the tees. So I got down to Thielen, and it's good to know that we're okay. But secondly, I have intel that how old's Asher?
Asher is about to be 6.
Okay. Well, the intel is that you are so kind and you are so giving and so loving, not only to 9 to Noon, but KFAN, that you were pulled from an Asher-related Bible study to rush here to the facility, Twin Cities Orthopedic Performance Center, to join 9 to Noon, and young Asher was not super tickled by it, which means my question would be, how many different ways can you tell a 6-year-old the story of Noah's Ark? Or or Samson, you know what I mean?
Well,
so he understands, I assume.
Asher was not happy with me leaving chapel early. It was my first one to be able to go to. Usually don't have mornings free, but
I see.
But I was able to go to chapel with Asher. Got to do a little worship with him and his classmates.
Right on.
Which was really special for me. It was pretty cool. But yeah, he was not happy with me leaving. But that's a tough feeling as a parent when you're like leaving the building, and he's like crying a little bit, begging for you to stay.
Oh, come on.
But
I made a kid cry?
Yeah.
Sam Newton made a kid cry?
Yeah, it's mostly Sam's fault.
Well, I know, because he's just laying on you. We're 1-0, kind of the rave of the league. We got to get AT19 on the 9 to Noon experience and just continue to share the love, right? What's his bedtime?
His bedtime is about 7:30.
7:30?
Yeah.
The Monday night game begins at what, 7:15, 7:20?
Yeah, that's going to be tough because Asher's super into the game. So
that's what I'm asking.
So he's gonna watch, I'm sure. Mom's pretty strict on bedtime.
Really?
So we'll see how long he stays up. But he has school the next day, and school starts at 8 a.m., and so for him, like, usually sleeps till about 7:15. So
right.
If he stays up late, he might be struggling going to school.
So when do mom and dad start the life lessons? Because, I mean, that there is an opportunity here. Okay, young man, we're going to let you stay up until halftime. Really? Halftime? That's great. That's going to be, what, 8 and change. But when you get up tomorrow morning, we can't have this and we can't have that. And, you're going to eat and then you're going to head off to school with a big smile on your face. I sense a life lesson on the horizon.
I hear you. Yeah, I think we might be able to pull off the full game, but we'll see what Mom says.
How Adam Thielen to begin 9 to noon, which is really cool. How closely do you follow the rest of the league weekly? And, do you watch highlights or look at box scores like we do?
Yeah. Well, first of all, I love watching football. I feel like it's when I'm watching the NFL, when I have time, whether we play on Monday night or play Thursday night or maybe we play a night game, when I have time to actually sit down and watch, I don't even feel like it's the same league I'm playing in, because it's just like I feel like I'm just a fan again. I'm an armchair quarterback, just sitting there watching the games. But yeah, so when we play, on Sundays, it's hard to watch too many games, but I'll check the box scores, see how the teams did, see who won, see who lost,
right?
See what players had big impacts, try to see some highlights. But yeah, I love football. I love to see what guys are doing, what players are shining, what teams are playing well. It's kind of a fun thing for me.
Well, why I bring it up is, and maybe you know this, but the Cincinnati Bengals and Pittsburgh Steelers had a spine tingler, and the Bengals their long snapper got hurt in the game. So this is not 2017 Minneapolis Miracle. McDermott gets hurt. I think the cat's name was Overbaugh. He's with you guys at the end of the season, where you had a chance to get ready for a game. My guy gets hurt during the game. So the Bengals version of Ben Ellefson, like their third tight end, their beef eater, protection, run blocking guy, he was the long snapper at the end of the game versus Pittsburgh on a couple of snaps. And so you got McPherson, the Gator, who they drafted last year. I think he might have walked off on you guys in overtime last year. He's really, really good. Well, I mean, he missed two that were just, maybe you saw it. I mean, he missed them by 8 miles, and I can't be mad at the guy. I mean, these snaps by their version of Ellefson were like 7 feet high.
Oh, I didn't see that.
And punters trying to get it down and stuff, but it's Justin goes for 184 and 2. Hicks has 14 tackles in his Vikings regular season debut and a strip sack. Zadarius Smith opened eyes and so on. But the nuance of the fact that this is the ultimate team game just shows you don't disrespect the long snapper, because when he's gone and you need him, you're going to really recognize you need him,
No doubt. I think that's why, a lot of people say it, but I'll stand on it. It's the greatest team sport there is. Football, there's just nothing like it.
Football and hockey.
Yeah, I mean.
No, really, those two.
But you think about it, 11 guys on every single play have to be on the same page. Mm-hmm. And when one guy is not, one guy doesn't do his job, the whole play's ruined. It doesn't matter what the other guys do. It doesn't matter if one guy is a superstar and is unbelievable. If one guy doesn't do their job, he cannot do his job. So I think that's what makes this the greatest game to play, greatest game to watch. You really realize it, like you said, in those situations.
And in basketball, whether it's collegiately or the NBA, I mean, you can have a tightly contested game, run some pick and roll, get some isolation going, where it really involves just a couple of players. Major League Baseball, unless you have Aaron Judge, then if you get the right pitcher and he goes lights out, well, the pitcher's the identifiable member of the team for that game. So you're right about the ultimate team feel. Now, it may not have been 84 yards, but like Justin, you got open a bunch. And I was talking about that a little bit in the opening segment and yesterday for X's and O's, which airs tonight with Kevin O'Connell. And that's super encouraging moving forward, I would look at, because I'm sure, it happens every single game to a lot of receivers on every team in the NFL. But the fact that you're getting open and you can look at it and the adversary can look at it and they compensate for it, it plays into the team feel where you go ahead and overcompensate on 18. And then 19 is really, really, really good. Well, there goes 17. And, I mean, that's just the beautiful part of this game.
Yeah, you have to have guys step up. You have to have guys playing well in multiple areas. Like you said, in this league, they can try to take away one person. But if they have to take away multiple, that's where it gets really difficult. So everyone's just got to do their part and continue to do their part. Obviously, we're feeling great after this first win and against a divisional opponent, and obviously a team that we don't like too much, and first game of the season. But we got to make sure we remember that, hey, we got to go back to work, and we have to be very attentive to detail. We have to do the little things, like you said, to be able to make sure that we are getting open, that we are doing our part to help other people do their part. So that's the fun thing about this league is you get to go, whether win or lose, you get to go and do it all over again. And you get to prepare for a few days and then go play again in a big game that means a lot, which is awesome. As
a fellow receiver, did you in any way feel bad for the rookie when he dropped the 75-yarder?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I told a few people that it's probably the best thing that ever happened to that guy because I feel like that's going to put a chip on his shoulder that he may never have had. So I think obviously in the moment that stinks. I feel terrible for him. That's just a tough moment. But I just have a feeling that when we look back at that, it'll be the best thing that ever happened to him. He's a great player. He's got tons of talent. From what I've heard, he's a great kid. I don't know him, but I have a feeling that he's going to have a great career.
It's the best thing potentially that ever happened to him if 12 looks at him for the next 2 weeks. So I mean, you know what I mean? I mean, I'm obviously overdoing that, but I mean, quarterbacks they think about stuff like that, man, and it's like, hey. We've worked on this for 3 weeks. We got what we wanted. We're down 2 offensive linemen, so they don't think they're going to put me on a 7-step drop because they don't want me to get battered. And then they do all that, and it works, and he drops it. So I mean, HOFs, that stuff lingers in the back of minds.
Yeah, it's funny you say that because I think that kind of goes back to what you were talking about before of showing that you're getting open on tape. Quarterbacks see that stuff too. They want confidence in guys. And I always tell the young guys that, hey, you got to go out there and prove it every single day in practice. I know you may think that you can go out there and just turn it on game day and do it, but there's so much more that leads into it than that. Like you have to be able to give your quarterback confidence. You have to give your offensive coordinator confidence, the coaches, the players around you. Every single day you have to go out there and prove it, that you can play in this league at a high level. To give them that confidence that they can look to you in those situations.
Last one for Adam Thielen, 9 to noon on a Wednesday. What do you remember about your Darius Slay matchups?
Yeah, he's actually a friend of mine. I've got to know him over the years, but playing against him, he's a really good football player.
Yeah.
He's a really good football player. You can tell that he's a really smart football player. You can tell he watches tape. He knows what you're going to do. He knows how you're going to try to attack him. I think he's probably one of the most patient and athletic guys I've ever faced. And the fact that he just nothing really gets him rattled or frustrated. He kind of is just the same guy every play. But I love playing against him. Again, he's a great person. And I've been able to build a friendship with them. So excited to see him, but we'll be competitors on the field, that's for sure.
Well, you are a terrific person and a fantastic football player, and thanks for the time.
Appreciate it.